making landfall, and how that went on into inland areas and devastating Vermont, and people without power for about a week at a time. You know, we've got another large system on our hands.
We do, Crystal, and you know, you guys mentioned the relentless hours here, and the other important thing to note in these areas where there are, you know, large storages of trees and tree canopy is, okay, we may be able to take east-northeast wind for a while, but when the winds shift around after all this water, that may be the final blow. So if you're anywhere in this cone, absolutely you need to plan on losing power and potentially even experience flooding. Those are the two huge concerns that we face tonight. Again, we're down at the Riverwalk. We've got New Orleans covered for you. In case you're just joining us, we heard earlier on from Billy Nungusser down in Plaquemines Parish about his concerns about water oversplashing the top of the levee. It appears that the tidal gauges there are holding steady now, where we potentially maximize the surge at this point, or at least are holding its own. But I can tell you from my vantage point on the river that the water is flowing down the river. And that's what we want. We don't want it flowing up the river. We know we're going to have big problems in through here. So it's flowing down the river from our vantage point. It doesn't seem to be going up or even down all that much at this time. All right, let's go off to my east. That's the situation in New Orleans. How about Orange Beach, Alabama? They're taking it tonight with some pretty heavy rain and certainly some massive beach erosion. Mike, how many tide cycles do you think, especially high tide cycles, do you think we're going to go through where there's, you know, there's going to be erosion on those beaches?
Well, Jim, we had one today. We'll have one tomorrow and one on Thursday. Here on the Gulf Coast, we only have typically one high tide cycle a day. And the tidal range here is about 1.5 feet. But look at the beating, Jim. I don't know if you can see. It's probably not. But we are just getting hammered right now. We've been through this for the past hour. This is one of those bands Brian Norcross pointed out. We're on the outer band. I think there's about 4 bands wrapping around Isaac. This is the outer band. And if you're in Baldwin or Mobile counties, especially
tornado watch, right?
Jim, it is, yeah, under a tornado watch, Jim, you're right. You're going to have to watch out for flooded roadways. Now, a lot of roads that are prone to surge flooding are underwater. We've got a 4-foot-plus water rise on Mobile Bay. And look at the sand. I just want to come back on this dune so you can get a sense of the power of the wind blowing the sand. Now, you see me like this, crouched down on the beach, but the last time I did this was last winter up in Duluth. It's like a blizzard here. It's like sand just getting whipped through these COs. This onshore wind sustained at almost 40 miles an hour with this squall, this feeder band coming around. And, you know, we're a pretty good way. We're about 125, 130 miles from the center of Isaac, Jim. As far as the power, it's still on here in Orange Beach and looking down towards Gulf Shores. There's a curfew at Gulf Shores, Dolphin Island. There have been some low-lying evacuations like Dolphin Island where the power is out, Jim. They don't think the power will get back on there until at least 5 p.m. on Thursday. Meanwhile, overnight, it's going to be a long night of wind and just unrelenting rainfall of about 1 inch an hour. Jim, back to you.
Mike, we appreciate that update. Of course, we've been talking about Mississippi as well. They've had some wave run up there. Into the Florida Panhandle as well. Earlier on, we got a chance to talk to Buck Lee out of Pensacola Beach. They've had some issues certainly on the beach, but they plan on being up and running.